Welcome everybody. As you can see, we are back in our usual studio here. We've been out traveling, so we did a little trip to Europe, and while we were out there, I really was wondering how many therapists out there are full remote therapists that do online therapy, telehealth from other parts of the world. You know, you can pretty much be anywhere in the world, you know, with the right systems, with the right marketing, and pretty much run your business anywhere. So yeah, how many of you are actually full remote and do this on the road or from any part of the world? Please let us know. Let us know in the comments. That'd be super interesting, and we'd love to have you on our show if you are fully remote and doing this business from somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure people would love to hear how you do it, so that they can emulate you, because, you know, more freedom is always nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Let's
dive into
talk.
it. Okay.
What do we want to talk about today? What kind of helpful tips can we help our doctors and therapists with?
Well, today I kind of wanted to talk about what about marketing causes stress, right? What about digital marketing causes stress? Especially here in 2025, you know, it's all about your online presence. It's all about, you know, who can you reach via social media, via search engines. And, you know, a lot of people grow their business like gangbusters that way, right? But as has been the history of the world, there's progress and changes. And how does that impact our business? And how does that impact our online presence and how we do marketing? Okay, so I'll start us off with one. I don't know if you guys have heard of Google's Search Generative Experience. So they call it Google SGE. And I'm sure most of you guys have seen it.
Yeah, definitely.
It's basically like when you search a topic, you'll get that summary at the top of a search now. And, you know, they grab that information using AI. They grab that information from various websites, kind of paste it together, mash it together, and give us a summary of the topic. So, for example, if I'm searching like, what is Google's SGE? They will grab that information from the Google SGE site and create a summary. Yeah. So what's great about that is it's super convenient for us when we're trying to like learn something or find out, do a quick search about something that we're interested in. But what's causing people to lose sleep? One is, okay, so let's say you're like an expert on trauma, and you do trauma therapy, and you have all this great content on your website because you are the subject matter expert. So it's great for you, but now because of Google's SGE, people don't have to go to your website anymore to get the same content because Google will yank it from your website and use it in their summary.
That could be a good thing though. You know, not only for you as a business owner with a good website, but also to help people with the search, because I could tell you this, we've had callers or prospects that have become customers who have Googled us or Googled marketing for therapists, companies, or asked ChatGPT, you know, asking AI, you know, hey, who is the best marketing company for my therapy practice or doctor practice? And lo and behold, Web Therapia came up. So it's super helpful. So, you know, our site might have not been number one in the search, you know, depending on where they were searching from. But, you know, Google's, you know, SGE was able to pick us up and recommend us as one of the best marketing agencies to help this therapist grow their online practice.
Yeah. So yeah, something that seems fearful
Yeah.
in the beginning can be also a really good thing. And it really goes back to the content, right? In digital marketing, we talk about content is king, linking is queen. And that really is true. Your content is number one. You have to be an authority in your subject or in your, areas that you want to be a expert in, or that you want to show your expertise in, I should say. So yeah, people are scared that, oh no, they're going to grab my content and nobody's going to come to my site. Nobody's going to know who I am and where this content came from. But really, if somebody's looking for help and they're asking the who question, there's a high chance that you'll come up. So again, doing the right content, doing your SEO work is still really important.
Yeah. If you're out there putting out, amazing content, Google's still going to pick you up. They're still going to refer to you as the subject matter expert, because at the end of the day, everyone's looking for good content, right? Who's providing the right answer to solve my problem, As you know, the internet is a black hole, right? So if you do a search, on a topic, it's hard to figure out really who to trust and who to believe.
Great segue into the second stress-causing digital marketing changes is authenticity.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's so much content out there, so much AI-generated content.
Yeah, and there's a lot of garbage out there. When we hear AI, AI is going to take over. Oh, they have bots creating, AI videos on their own. Yesterday, I read an article about AI. This guy coded an AI business. So basically, it's a whole company running on its own. The AI bots are kind of taking over, and they're basically running this as a company on their own. And he's almost in a way the employee of the AI bots. So it's a little bit crazy.
A very what's that movie? That Keanu Reeves movie?
Matrix?
Yes, it's very Matrix.
Yeah, it's very, very futuristic and interesting to see. These AI bots created a employment contract with him, with the founder, and they had some kind of scary stuff in there. Terminator, yeah. But at the end of the day, AI isn't there. It isn't there yet, right? There's a lot of issues still with AI, right? It is growing fast. It is, very helpful in certain situations. But at the end of the day, you can't just have AI generate video content or blog content for you. It's not going to be as good as a real human generating this content, right? At the end of the day, that's where the gold is, right? Your experience as a human, you telling your story. AI is, at the end of the day, just a computer code. It's an assistant. It's a great assistant, right? If you're ever stumped on, hey, what do I write about? Hey, I don't know what else to write. How can I make this better, right? It's a great assistant, but at the end of the day, it's not there yet where it can just create content for your website and, video content. I analyze a ton of videos, on social media, YouTube, and there are a lot of AI generated video out there right now, and some of it's good and some of it is terrible. I think you could definitely leverage it, and the best ways that I've seen AI leveraged in video is where there's both AI and human interaction, right? Where there's a human that has leveraged AI, for certain video scenes while they're explaining a story. But the human at the end of the day is really the captain of that video per se. Mm-hmm. The ones that I like are the ones where the human is talking on the video, and in the background you can kind of see some AI images that they're referring to. I think those are probably the better ones, but at the end of the day, there's also garbage out there, like AI videos that you could totally tell it's AI, it's not formatted very well. The images are just very cookie cutter.
Yeah.
And it's not very entertaining. So
yeah. And I think at the core of it, people can tell, right? When it's authentic, generated by a person, as opposed to just content, fluff, stuffing that AI generated. You know, the fear is that there's skepticism around content, and that like I don't want to be the source of sketchy content. You know, skepticism and inauthentic messaging is kind of just flooding the web, and we recommend that you use AI as an assistant, but not let it take over your business, not let it take over your content generation. Make sure that you're always watchful over the information on your website. Yeah. All right. And then another digital marketing change that's causing stress and uncertainty in our world is volatile platform algorithms. And what I mean by that is social media platforms such as Meta, such as TikTok, or even search engine platforms like Google, like who else? Bing. You know, they're constantly changing their search standards, their search algorithm. So what you might have created today may not be what they're looking for tomorrow, right? Like one day it's, you know, for us to take you seriously as a business, we want to see 10 blogs a month. Then the next day it's like, okay, blogs don't count anymore because there's too much inauthentic messaging out there, AI generated messaging. So we want to see videos with human faces. So it's just constantly this like feeling of like playing catch up, or do I know what's going on? Am I like informed about what the changes are so that I can follow and make the changes to my marketing strategy? And I think that's a huge stress causer, right? Because you don't know if it's going to change tomorrow, 2 months from now. What do I mean, everybody has a limited budget, especially small businesses, where you're like, well, I can't afford to invest, you know, time and money into writing 10 blogs a month, and then tomorrow they're like, okay, it doesn't count, right? So I think that's a huge stressor.
But I think the key here would be just to be consistent and be consistent with everything. So when we originally started doing this business, you know, helping therapists with marketing, specifically digital marketing, we did a ton of blogs, so 10, 30, 50 blogs a month, depending on what package you were on. And that was like our bread and butter, pumping out content for our clients, you know, helping Google recognize them as a strong website, subject matter expert, you know, in this field. And that's all we did, you know, a ton of blogs in regards to content. Now, you know, like Cindy mentioned, you know, there's volatility, right? Is there blogs this month that Google is going to show importance to? Is it video, you know? And you never know. But the good thing is about our SEO packages is that we do both. We put out blog content for you, and then we also put out video content for you. So, you know, either way, you're kind of winning. And if Google says, hey, we're putting more emphasis on video when it comes to search, well, you're already covered because we're giving you video content. Or if they switch back to blogs, well, you don't have to worry because you have blogs that we're consistently putting out. So either way, whatever Google decides in their secret magic code to give relevance to, you'll be covered. And at the end of the day, it's about putting out good quality content. That is what is going to help users find you. It doesn't matter if you're putting out 100 blogs a day of garbage or 100 videos a day of garbage. It's just not relevant to the user. It's not really going to help you when it comes to ranking. So
yeah, at the end of the day, that's bad business anyway. Yeah. What I wanted to tack onto that too was, you know, we make it our business to be monitoring the algorithms and to be monitoring content behavior, right? Because Google doesn't always make the big announcements like, hey, we did an algorithm change. They kind of wait for everybody to go, wait, click. Why isn't my thing working?
Why are my results diving?
Yeah. So, and then you go, okay, well, something's changed, and then you kind of take a deep dive into like what it is. So, we manage enough accounts that we're going to probably notice this before anybody else.
Yeah.
And make sure that all of the people working with us are updated and all their content is relevant and working, and like SEO is continuing to be a positive impact on your business.
Yeah. Well, let's say that this will probably never happen, but let's say Google gets rid of their current algorithm, and nothing, no matter what you do, video or the amount of blogs that you're putting out, will drive traffic to your website from an SEO perspective. Okay, what are our options? One, I think, is running some sort of Google ad campaign or some campaign to drive users specifically to your website, right? If you can't rank, if you can't compete in, let's say, a big city like San Francisco, New York, or Los Angeles for SEO, just because there's a lot more competition. If you can't rank and Google can't pick you up and push you to the top, or if they get rid of their algorithm, how will you drive traffic to your website? I think Google Ads, right? If you drive traffic to your website directly through like a Google Ads, Facebook ad campaign or something, these users will go to your website, even though your content might not be getting picked up by Google. When they go to your website, they're gonna notice that, hey, this person is putting out blogs every month. They're putting out video content. I can see this on their site, on their YouTube channel. So, hey, there's other tactics,
solutions.
Right? There's other solutions. So I think, but working on both SEO and, driving direct traffic through Google Ads to your site, I think is the winning combination from what we see from our clients
work hand in hand.
Yeah, they work hand in hand. Like our clients getting, 20 new clients a week. I mean, it's crazy how much traffic that we're driving to our clients and how much, business they're getting from our tactics. But yeah, SEO and Google Ads is the golden ticket to success, and we see it every day with our clients.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, with all of these changes, this constant flux of how to do digital marketing in this day and age, I think the two recommendations that I can make is, number one, continue to generate good content.
Consistently.
Right? Consistently.
Don't do this for like a week, like, hey, I'm gonna do it, and put out 5 videos and 5 blogs in that first week, and then next week you just get overwhelmed with caseloads or life, and then you don't do it, and then you do it the next month, put out 1 blog, and then you're off the next 2 months, and then get back to it. That's not gonna work. That's not gonna do anything for the most part. I mean, you gotta be consistent, and you never know what Google's gonna pick up, whether it's through their content, blog content algorithm, or through the video algorithm. That's why you need to be consistent. And I can tell you, from managing, clients' video accounts, you never know what's going to hit. One day you can put out a video and you're like, man, that only got like a couple hundred views, I'm barely hitting 1,000 views. And then a month or two down the line, when Google, puts importance on that specific topic that you discussed in that video a month or two ago, Google will randomly pick up an old video and just make it go viral. You never know what's gonna, get picked up, which is why consistency is the key when it comes to blogs and creating video content to really help, the search engine, boost you, help your prospects find you, to really help grow your business.
Yeah, and then so the content, right? Content is king, video content as well, but when you're creating content, I think one of the main things you want to think about is you're writing for an audience. You're trying to answer questions. You're trying to solve a pain point for them, or you're trying to meet a need. So when you're writing, make sure that you're writing content that kind of answers these questions, but is also in depth enough to show your expertise. It's also a good idea, maybe if you have like a fellow expert or some expert that in the area, have them write content and post it on your blog. Names go a long way. Also, if you focus on like silos or hubs of topics, and let's just do, I don't know, anxiety disorder or something like that. Okay, so you're gonna focus on anxiety disorder and you're gonna write a ton of content around this. So now, not only are you a subject matter expert, you have in-depth content and a lot of it. And that's where Google's gonna start, grabbing your information and serving you up as a solution when somebody is asking the who question. Make sure you're the authoritative person, go-to person, the expert in this area. So that's number one, content. Make sure you've got good, high-quality content, okay? Yeah. And then the second is ensuring that you are linking to other valuable sites. Like if you're a therapist, link to other therapist sites, or link to Psychology Today or some like high authority site in your area. If you're a doctor, internal medicine, make sure you're linking to your associations, to other doctors, to, medical journals that you might be featuring your topic, or you might be featured on their medical journal. Make sure you're linking to these high authority sites, because that's what gives you credibility, right? Because, they're not going to let a pet groomer, link to some medical journal, right? So when you are connected to high authority sites that are, authoritative in the search engine's opinion, then, that's a huge win, because they're like, okay, this person's legit. And it also helps your site get crawled. So you want all of your content to be known by Google, and they're not going to know that you're there until they crawl your site. But how do they know that your site needs to be crawled? By linking to high authority domains. Like if you're just, me.com sitting out here on my own, how are they ever going to find you? They're not even going to know that you're there, right?
Yeah.
So linking is huge.
Yeah, that's a good idea, linking to therapy groups or clubs in your area, Psychology Today. And, think about who is the authoritative figure in your specific niche, right? Whether it be sex therapy or PTSD, trauma, or whatever. Who is the authoritative figure that you think about when, talking about your topic? For instance, wrestling, right? I was a huge wrestling fan growing up. So who is the authoritative figure in the wrestling world?
Well, I would definitely post Hulk Hogan's recent death on my website.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. So if you're to think about it, Hulk Hogan is the authority when it comes to wrestling, right? That's the first person that comes to mind. And rest in peace, he recently passed away, but he is the authoritative figure in wrestling. So if I was a new wrestler and I wanted my website to rank, I'd be linking to Hulk Hogan. I'd be talking about Hulk Hogan. I would be, trying to get him on my podcast and that kind of thing, just to show Google that, hey, my website, my business is real. I am, linking to these authoritative figures in my niche. And give me value, boost me. Google's going to see you as a more relevant site when it comes to search results.
Yeah. So I guess if you stay true to your content and continue looking for authority figures in your areas of expertise, or even in your local area, like some association in your town or in your city, those are all great things to connect to. So keep those two things in mind. And I really believe you can ride the wave of, all these digital marketing changes and uncertainties.
Yeah, definitely. Great. Awesome. Well, until next time, if you have any questions, go ahead and please reach out to us, webtherapia.com, book a discovery call. Even if you're just not sure what to do with your marketing, let's chat. We can, do a free consultation, talk about, what we think is best for you. Maybe you're good at content, but you're not as good with video, or you're good with video, but you're not good with blogs or linking. Yeah.
Give us a call. We always love to talk to you guys and, give our recommendation on how you can take the next step to further your business.
Great. See you guys.